try to discover a little something to make me sweeter. Oh baby, refrain from breaking my heart. I'm so in love with you. I'll be forever blue. That you give me no reason why you make me work so hard. That you give me no, that you give me no, that you give me no, that you give me no soul. I hear you calling, oh baby, please give a little respect to
In 2007, we lost our son Kingston, then 2.5 years old, to a rare genetic disease called XLP.
We had no idea what XLP was.
We knew nothing about it. We didn't have any idea that he was infected until the day that he was brought to the hospital.
During the holidays, Kingston, got a cold just like every other kid, and we kept taking him into the hospital, and the doctors would send us away and saying, it's just virus, just virus.
They passed it off as just, oh, he has a virus, he'll be fine. He'll get over it, his body will fight it. Well, unknowns to us, he had XLP, which meant that his body couldn't fight Epstein-Barr virus.
Kingston had this rapport with me that I could just whisper into his ear and he would calm down, and he knew that everything would be okay if I was there. And in the hospital, that worked for the first few days, but when the doctors kept coming in, giving him shots, taking him into surgery, I felt helpless, and I didn't know what to do.
As a parent, the most frustrating and desperate feeling in the world is not being able to help your child when they're sick. Not knowing, having doctors, bringing your baby to a doctor and saying, help me, what's wrong with him? Can you fix him? And they can't.
The biggest fear I had was being helpless, not knowing how to help my son, doctors not knowing what to do, and just feeling like, how could this happen to us?
XLP is a rare genetic disease that only affects boys. It's basically that your immune system is unable to fight mono or Epstein-Barr virus. Once you come in contact with that, your body has no mechanism to fight it, and it directly goes and attacks your major organs. It's such a rare disease that hardly any doctors know of it, and that's one of the major problems with XLP, is that no one's heard of it, so when cases are brought in, they don't know how to identify it.
Kingston brought out the best of Sarah and I. We're very free parents in the way that he was almost like a part of us, as part of our union, the third person in our friendship.
Losing Kingston, we lost a huge part of who we were. As a family, individually, and everybody that knew him. He was a 2.5-year-old that loved music.
He was just a joy, a pure joy. I don't think there was ever a time that I ever got angry with him or had to discipline him, because it just seemed like he knew. He was more or less my friend, one of my very best friends.
Always sucking his thumb and rubbing his ear. Loved the trips to the aquarium. Loved cookies and ice cream, like any other kid, but this kid had a special passion for candy and Chuck E. Cheese.
The thing about being Kingston's father is that the amount of time we got to spend together. He'd come with me into the studio. He'd watch me record music. There are a lot of things that I wish I could have done when I was a kid. So what better way to do it but when you're a dad and you take him to those things? I just remember him being there, and he'd look at me and he'd just have this smile. Just like, thanks, Dad. And I would look at him and I'd say, thanks, son. Right back at you. This kid is deep. This kid was very, very wise for his age. The joy of being a dad and taking Kingston to class, to school, going on bus trips with him, with his classroom, and just seeing him interact with other kids. And, it was just the most beautiful thing because he just had that magnetic personality. I'm always going to miss Kingston. As a dad, I'll always remember him, and I know that part of him is in me. The confidence he's instilled in me of just knowing that I can be a father, knowing that I can be a great father. And I'm just so thankful that I've had this experience to be his dad.